Good morning. We are just getting set up and settled in. We have a couple of minutes before class begins, so nice amount of time to roll out your mat and to create your space. That may mean turning on a little music in the background or grabbing a water. Coming into the practice, we probably have a minute or two before we get going. We are testing out a new microphone today, so hopefully that's working. We tested out last week, it did not work. And we are going to begin on our backs if you wanted to head that way. We're just rolling out our mats, making our space, quieting the mind, and inviting little movements into the body. Just maybe a minute or so left. We're all going to start making our way toward that spot on our mat with our backs resting. Give everyone a few moments to join. We settle in and prepare for our practice. So as you come down onto the mat, back body is resting, head and shoulders on the mat, the spine is long. You can have the knees bent. You could have the legs long. You could have a combo. Kind of finding that comfortable spot for you. Maybe you soften the gaze here, even close the eyes. Begin to deepen the breath. Allow the lungs to fill with the inhale and to release with the exhale. Notice how the body settles. This nice expansion and contraction. Building a nice balanced breath for our practice, matching the length of our inhales to the length of our exhales. Notice if the mind is wandering away from the mat. And if it is, gently invite it to be present with you. Notice the sensations of the body, the pattern of the breath. Allow the shoulders to soften. The legs are extended on the mat. Bring the feet in, planting the soles of the feet, maybe hip width distance apart on the mat. Then we'll draw the right knee in. You can gently flutter the eyes open if they were closed here. You could leave them closed. As you draw the right knee in, try not to lift the head and shoulders. You can hold outside the shin or behind the knee. We'll draw little circles with the ankle. You can do both directions, wiggling the toes. Invite a little movement to the joints down there. We'll find stillness as we give that knee a little squeeze and send that leg up. We'll find movement at the knee as we lower and lift the foot. Don't let the foot connect to the mat here, and it doesn't have to extend straight up either. Checking in with our knee. And then we'll meet with the foot extended, the sole toward the sky. Press through that heel. Again, a little micro bend there at the knee if needed. Leg does not have to be perfectly straight. And then we point the toes. Soften that foot, maybe wiggle it out. And then with control, leg long, we'll lower the right leg to the mat. And then we'll slide that right heel in and plant the sole of the right foot back on the mat. Draw in the left knee. Try not to struggle through the arms here. Maybe find a little ease by releasing that leg a little farther away from the body. That's all right. And then take those circles on the left side with the ankle and the foot and the toe. Just mixing up the directions. Being aware of how that joint's feeling, checking in. Find stillness, little squeeze. Send that left leg long. And then again, that little lower and lift of the foot to invite movement into the knee. We'll check in with the hamstring here, the thigh, noticing the muscles, holding that leg up. The little stretch we get when we extend the knee. Mindful of those connections. We'll meet with the left leg extended to the sky. Maybe draw the toes toward the body a little bit. Check in with the back of the left leg. And then point the toes. Notice how the top of the foot feels, shin. Soften that foot, maybe wiggle it out. With control, left leg lowers all the way to the mat. Left heel hits, we'll slide it back in, and then draw both knees in toward the chest. Nice full body hug. You could rest here on the back for a moment, or you could rock a little side to side if you like. That might feel nice on the low back this morning. If you're rocking, we'll slow it down, come back to stillness. Give the legs a little squeeze, extend both legs toward the sky. With control, lower them both to the mat. Legs are long, we'll slide the right foot in. Draw that knee all the way to the chest, our half wind relieving pose. Big stretch through the hips here. Start to soften, use that exhale. We'll hold on to right knee with right hand. So we let that knee fall open toward the earth. Creating a little movement, we'll draw it back to center. Inhale as we open. And exhale to center. Move at your own breath for a few rounds. Try to keep the hips square to the sky as best you can here. And on your next journey to middle, pause. Lower that foot back to the mat. Heel toe to touch the foot to the extended left leg, and then let the right knee fall open. You can take the arms out to a T here, inviting in a little bit of a heart opener as well. Relax the hips. We'll bring the hands back down to the side, right hand under right thigh, help that leg up, and then send it long. We'll slide the left leg in and then draw that knee toward the body, the other half of our half wind relieving pose. Maybe the belly presses into the thigh with the inhale. Maybe you need that leg to be a little farther away from the body. That's all right. If you're ever working on this practice on your own and you have a strap, this is always an opportunity to use that and wrap it around the knee if you need it to be a little farther away, while keeping the head and shoulders down. Hold on to left knee with left hand. Let that knee fall open. The knee can be as close to the shoulder, as far away as you need. We'll hold here for a couple of breaths. On the exhale, bring it back to center. Inhale to open. Exhale, center. Inhale to open. Move at your own breath pace. Checking in with the hip, seeing how it's feeling this morning. Only go as far as your body wants. And on your next journey to center, we'll pause. Let the left foot return to the mat. Bring it to that extended leg and let the knee fall open. The sole of the left foot is connected to the extended right leg. Body is square to the sky. Relax the legs a bit. Find a little ease in the hips. We'll take the left hand to the outer thigh of left leg, help it up. We'll slide the right foot in to match it. We'll lift the feet off the mat, so we're creating like a 90-degree there at the knee. Left hand to right knee as we guide those legs across and gently twist. You may need to shift the hips a bit here as we invite in this rotation through the spine. Maybe right arm extends out to that T. The legs are stacked on one another, providing a little support here in our supine twist. On the exhale, we'll unwind. However you need to, we'll return to that center spot, spine long, feet connected to the mat, and then lift them back to that 90. Right hand to left knee, guide them over. Make any little adjustments, that shift of the hips if you need it. Feel that rotation through the ribs, opening the heart to the sky as best you can. Left arm extends out, right hand can rest on the knees. The heels can be tucked up toward the body or as far out as you like. Release a little deeper. And then on your next exhale, rotate back to center, returning to that starting spot. We'll draw both knees in, take peace fingers behind them, start to rock along the length of the spine, and use that momentum to draw us up to a nice seated posture. We'll sit up tall as we lean back to about a 45. Core is engaged, back body is strong. Lift the feet when you're ready. You can tap down a toe anytime you need. As we come into our boat, you can stay right here. Again, you can tap down a toe if you need. You could extend the arms out. Keep that heart lifted. You could lift them up. You could extend the legs, one or both. You could play around here. Building strength in our core. Nice reminder to keep that flat back, great posture. One more breath here. Exhale as you release it down. We'll rest the hands behind us, little windshield wiper for the legs. We'll release. We come back to our seated posture, legs extended in front of us, feet about hip width distance. Sit tall, that long spine as we inhale the arms up. Exhale to our seated forward fold. Maybe you hold feet, maybe you hold on to the ankles, the shins, the mat, wherever you're at in your practice. And again, if you're practicing this on your own time, or even if it's today and you have a strap nearby, this is another great posture to incorporate that into. You can wrap it around the feet. It can help you reach a little farther, maybe dive a little deeper. And inhale, we'll lift up. We'll take the feet nice and wide. Sit up tall and then walk the hands away. We're hinging at the hips as we fold forward. Only go as far as your body wants. You can keep the hands on the mat in front of you. You could hold ankles. You could take peace fingers behind the toes. Find your variation of the shape this morning. Checking in with the inner thighs, the hamstrings. Maybe there's that little bend at the knees if needed. And again, trying to keep that long spine, that nice flat back as best we can, avoiding too much rounding in the low back. On an inhale, we'll walk the hands in as we lift up, tuck the legs under, and rotate to our tabletop. Meeting in the middle of our mat, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Spread the fingers wide and begin your cat-cows, lowering the belly on an inhale. Exhaling as we arch the back. Inhale as you lower, lift the gaze. Exhale as you round, bring the gaze to the navel. Just move at your own pace here. Connected with the breath. Awareness running through the length of the spine. One more full round. And then we'll meet at our neutral spine. Keep the hips high as you start to slide the hands away. Melt the heart toward the mat, puppy pose. You can stay on the palms. You could come and tint the fingers here. You could lower onto the forearms. Lots of options as we find that flat back, big stretch through the shoulders, side body, the front midline. start to walk the hands in as we lift up and return to our tabletop. Take the right hand forward about a handprint. We're creating extra space as we thread the needle. Left arm reaches out and then weaves behind. Gently rotate and lower down. Left cheek and left shoulder come to rest on the mat. Right hand can stay there as our nice kickstand, that elbow at a 90. Or you could wrap it around the low back. Feel the breath in the ribs. Keep the hips high. That arm is wrapped around. Bring the right palm back to the mat. We'll take one more breath here. Press the right hand into the mat as you lift off the left side. Unwind and return to your neutral tabletop. Our starting place. Left hand goes forward, a handprint, balancing it out. We take the right arm out and then thread that needle. Gently rotate. Take your time as you lower yourself onto the right side. Each side's a little different, so check in. Notice what's happening here in the shoulder, in the ribs, in the spine. See if you can provide a little softness into that right hand. And again, that left hand can be your kickstand, or you can wrap it. Breath is steady. If the left arm is wrapped around, bring it back to the mat. We'll take one more breath here. Press into the left hand as you come off of the right shoulder. Unwind and return to our neutral. Just for a second, we start to walk the hands away. Gently lower to the belly, chin to the mat, hands under shoulders, the tops of the feet are down. Then we'll inhale up, baby cobra, chin and collarbone lift. Long spine. Not putting too much weight in the hands here. Maybe you can drum out the fingers. And release. Chin to mat. Take a breath. We'll put a little more weight into the hands as we inhale up, chin, collarbone, and maybe a rib or two. The gaze is forward. Try to keep the shoulders drawing away from the ears. We'll release down. Take a breath. Inhale up, baby cobra. Use the back muscles. Keep the feet connected to the mat. And release. On an inhale, press into the hands as you lift a little higher. And release. We'll do one more. Yogi's choice. You can do that baby cobra, that mid-lift. If you'd like to go a little higher, we'll move the hands down beside the chest instead of under the shoulders. And we'll inhale up. So finding your expression, that baby cobra, a mid-lift, full cobra. If up dog is in your practice and you wanted to head there, you could. Just see where you're at this morning. And release. Nice work. We come down to the mat. Let the arms go long down by our sides, and then we'll turn the left cheek to the mat. Let the shoulders rest, a little stretch for the neck. And then swap sides. Right cheek goes down, balancing it out. We bring chin to mat, hands under shoulders, press back hips to heels, child's pose. Let the belly rest on the thighs as we take a breath here. Walk the hands to the knees as we lift up, and we find a nice kneeling posture. So the knees are under the hips, sitting tall. We'll bring the fists to the low back, or you can go flat palm if you prefer. Start to draw the elbows closer to one another, shoulder blades as well, and maybe stay right here. Nice little heart opener. If you'd like to take it deeper, we'll start to arch the back as we head to our kneeling back bend. The gaze travels up. Big beach ball behind you. Imagining a little string from the heart to the sky to help keep you lifted. You can come in and out of this as you need. We'll inhale up. Exhale, release the hands, give the shoulders a little wiggle. We'll stay in our kneeling posture. We inhale the arms up to shoulder height. Exhale the hands together. Notice a little space between the shoulder blades. Interlace the fingers, draw palms to heart, elbows go wide. And then we flip the hands so the palms are facing away from us. Thumbs are down. Press the hands away. Take a breath here, a little stretch through the wrists, the hands, the forearms. We'll inhale the arms up. And exhale as we release. Give the shoulders a little wiggle, and we'll do that same little sequence to our breath pace. Inhale to shoulder height. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale, palms away. Inhale, lift up. Exhale as you release. Moving right into it once more. Inhale, arms shoulder height. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, hands to heart. Exhale as you press away. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Nice work. We'll take hands to the mat, curl the toes, start to walk them back as we rock onto our feet and come up to that nice standing posture. At the back of our mat, we'll use a little transition to get to the front of our mat. Right foot steps forward about 2 to 3 feet. Feet are on skis. Hips are square to the short edge of the mat. Stand tall as you hinge forward. Coming into your triangle. Oh, pyramid. Coming into our shape this morning. Try to keep a flat back. Hands can stay on hips. You could bring them to heart center. You could go airplane arms. Only fold as far as your body wants, checking in with the back of that right leg. Take a generous bend in the right knee as we press up. And then swap the feet. So left foot's journeying forward. It's now about 2 to 3 feet in front of the right. Feet are on those skis. Square up, stand tall, hinge forward. Really move at the hips here. And your body may go 10 degrees, you may go 90, you may be able to drop all the way and fold over. Find what works for you this morning. And as you come into the shape, notice if the hips really shift out of whack. They do, gently square them back up. Make those little adjustments. Both feet are firmly rooted on the mat here. Take a generous bend in that left knee as we press up and bring the right foot forward. We'll take the feet wide to the edges of the mat, setting them at about 45. My heels are on the mat, my toes are off, but your leggings might be different. So it might be a little wider or a little shorter as we head into our yogi squat. Hands to heart center and start to lower down. You can stop whenever your knees, hips, or ankles tell you to. That may be right here. Maybe you start to lower all the way down. Maybe the elbows press into the knees to help create a little extra space. Find what works for you this morning, knowing you can come in and out of the shape as you need. There's always room for growth. One more breath here. And then however you'd like to, transition down, finding a nice seated posture. Somewhere we'll round out our practice together this morning. We'll bring hands to heart center to seal it in. I encourage you to take kind thoughts, kind words, and those kind intentions with you from now until we meet again. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for our yoga practice this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. And if you celebrate Thanksgiving, a wonderful Thanksgiving as well. Bye, all.